The anonymous writer who covers this story provides his or her lottery winning breakdown, and it is broken up into 3 parts: desire, mental action, and the result. The desire to win came upon him because his life at home was bad. His family was judgmental, and he wanted to leave those circumstances. The difference here is that he did not think, I should just get a new job that pays better, or hopefully I can get a raise where I'm at. No, he decided that he was going to be a millionaire and get out of the house and never look back. This, of course, is a metaphor of him leaving behind his present conceptions of himself and never looking back to his former state of consciousness. Breakdown for Gian's mental action. Now, he first physically goes out and tries to win the Mega Millions for 5 months and nothing happened. Then he thought he should adjust his desire because he felt that Mega Millions was too big, and he chose the Pick 6 Lotto instead. One could argue here that he never needed to adjust it. He physically tried to win the lotto without changing his state of consciousness, which, as predicted, did not work. So instead of changing his state of consciousness, or should I say his attitude towards the Mega Millions, he changed his desire. When he started to buy Pick 6 Lotto tickets every week, he had a dream that he won. This provided him with the motivation to win. Now, personally speaking, I have had 5 dreams of me winning the lottery, but I chose to ignore them because I did not want to get caught up into it. Now, knowing this, I will instead change my attitude on them and see them as God within me communicating to me, and use this as motivation to win, or for anything in that matter. So the takeaway is to listen to your dreams. Use them to produce expectations. He most likely had the dream after the Pick 6 because he was able to accept it in his mind. The Mega Millions was being pushed out and he was not winning, which would result in discouragement. And his mind would not let him have a dream of winning. This goes to show that we create the dreams within the dream. God speaking to us in dreams is our deeper self speaking to us to show us what we have allowed, the duality of man and God. He then decides to make a list of everything he honestly believes about himself. This is important to note because if you write down all the wonderful things, you will be left with no desire to change your consciousness. From being honest, he discovered that he had low self-worth and self-love, which can be meshed into self-love. So here we get the first sign of a desire to change the state of consciousness. This is the first form of mental action we are seeing. He decides he wants to accept himself, and he wants to feel that he is deserving of everything this physical life has to offer. These are important beliefs to install for anyone, regardless of the lottery. These beliefs can appear in all aspects of life, and from these beliefs, you can feel confident in receiving your special someone, money, fame, etc. Here is where it is not necessary to do all of this, but he chose to make a vision board and to repeat affirmations about abundance, wealth, etc. He does not state what he said, but that would be personal anyway. The most important part to take away from all of this is that he would feel gratitude for those things, wealth, abundance, as if he had it now, as if they were already his. He did this daily. He would meditate, a mental action, daily on feeling gratitude for everything he had. He felt gratitude for everything in his life. He kept saying the affirmations with feeling and belief. He felt so good that nothing seemed to bother him anymore. Things in his everyday life started to become better. He still had the desire to win the lottery and leave his home, even though he felt content with where he was. He said affirmations, visualized with feeling of gratitude every single day until he eventually won. This feeling was a mix of gratitude and satisfaction. He was living in his dream life more than in his current reality. While still appreciating all that he had, he still had the desire to win. So here is where we see a change in his consciousness. We know he changed because he stated that he started to feel gratitude for everything in his life. He let go of the former state of lack and went to feeling abundant and gratitude. He would say affirmations and visualize living the life he wanted, and the two feelings were gratitude and satisfaction. This makes sense since these would be the feelings if you already had what you desired. The feeling of desire would change to gratitude and satisfaction. Since he still had the desire to win, and since he now changed his state of consciousness from lack to abundance, we should see a change in how he plays the lottery. Gian's result. So now for a month he put himself into a state of full expectation that he was going to win. He bought his usual $20 worth of tickets and lit up a cigarette and went on with his day. He stopped looking at the numbers. The numbers, odds, and probability were no longer important. He bought tickets and rarely looked at the numbers. So here we finally see a difference in how he played the lottery. Before, he was forcing himself to play with the same state of mind. Now that he had changed his state to gratitude and expectation, he played the lottery, not caring about the numbers, odds, probability, and he played with the expectation that he was going to win. This is what happens when we change our state of mind. As a result, Monday morning, he looked at his tickets and saw one of the lines on his ticket was a winning jackpot of $2 million. He then was able to leave home and never look back as a wealthy man. His desire came into being. Now we can see how obviously this is. He initially had a state of lack, and out of this lack, he desperately tried to change it, but physically forcing himself to buy tickets in hopes that he would win. Nothing happened. Then he changed his state of abundance, gratitude. He changed his state to abundance, gratitude, expectation, and satisfaction. The key to point out is that 3 of these states have one thing in common. It is coming from a place of already having what you desire in the here and now. Then the state of expectation is sparked when you obtain these states. From this state, he played the lottery again and played in a relaxed, knowing manner. He felt so good about himself that the numbers and odds no longer bothered him. He played expecting to win, and he did. This shows that in order to change our world, to obtain our desire, we first must change our consciousness. You can try to physically force your world to change, but in a short while you will be back to reaping your present state of consciousness. Once the consciousness is changed from lack to abundance, or whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can expect your outer world to do the same. Thank you for listening.